talking with legislative Republican leaders about how open they will be to working with Democrats and your proposals?
I don't know. I mean, the governor-elect did come to our caucus right after his election. You know, he's a former legislator, so I suspect he's going to be more open to working with legislators. But, you know, proof is in the pudding. I have no idea. I mean, I have not heard from him since he came to our caucus, but that's why we're reaching out to him.
I know the governor-elect has said he's going to call a special session on his first day in office. Are you concerned that the holdup in announcing cabinet members are going to slow your work moving forward, trying to work on proposals?
Well, I'm a little concerned about that just because, you know, I don't even know in some cases if, I don't know when they even knew if they were being appointed. So, but clearly, I know that they haven't been over at the Department of Commerce yet. And again, I'm only concerned insofar as the Commerce Department, because, you know, transportation is a very important department, but you know, those projects move over time. You know, the Department of Commerce, it's immediate. A business has to make a decision. They need to have an answer. What package am I going to have? So, you know, I hope he's going to have his team ready for action on Monday, and I hope they at least will be able to meet with, you know, the outgoing secretary Monday morning and become briefed and make sure that they pass the baton seamlessly. I hope that's going to occur. And in terms of our package, you know, you know, it helps to have somebody. The Commerce Department was extraordinarily helpful to the legislature over the course of the past year and a half. They came to every partnership meeting we had. As we had ideas, they gave their thoughts about how to make them better, and we listened to that. I mean, we're obviously, they're the people that are working on a daily basis, and subsequent to passing some of these bills, we've learned some things. That's why some of the bills we'll be advancing the first week are things that we've learned in many cases from Commerce and from businesses that aren't working quite as well as they'd like them to. I passed an entrepreneurial, just as an example, I passed an entrepreneurial support program during the budget process, and it was only for businesses that had been created within 12 months. Well, that was a mistake, because many times a business, it takes more than 12 months to really get their LLC in place. So we're cutting out a lot of businesses that really could use programs like that. And there's others like that as well that we'll be, you know, announcing the first week that we're back.
You say the Commerce Department's been helpful to you. What's your reaction to the governor-elect's plans then to do away with it and replace it?
Well, I think that part of that plan is a good plan. I embrace the part about having a private sector board to provide continuity. You know, Governor Doyle and Governor Thompson, I think, had you know, 3 or 4 different secretaries, and from secretary to secretary, you don't always get the best continuity. So the component of having a private sector board, you know, not unlike you have for the DNR board, for instance, I think makes sense. There's other elements of it, this idea that everybody has to reapply for their job. I think that was a mistake for him to announce at this point, even if that's his intention, because, you know, again, it creates chaos over there. I mean, if people, you know, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you're worried about your own job, it's hard to worry about helping businesses to create jobs themselves. So I think that was a mistake to even announce that at this point. Whether or not that even makes sense in the long term, I don't know. I'm open to the idea of looking at it, but I think it was a mistake for him to announce that right now at such a key time when he's bringing new people in the door that are going to have to work with all of these people over the next 6 months. I mean, that's your team, and you want to have a cohesive team to work together. So I'm not clear why they announced that. I think that was a mistake.
How much do you think the governor-elect's proposals in this special session, how much do you think is actual legitimate proposals that he wants to push forward, and how much of it is political grandstanding, how much of it is he wants to act for action's sake?
Well, I don't feel it's political grandstanding at all. I mean, let me start with that. I mean, I think he genuinely thinks these are ideas that will improve the business climate in many cases, and these are important debates that have to take place. Hopefully they'll be give and take, and we can come up with better solutions in some cases, and some of his ideas I'm sure will go quite fine. But the only concern I have is the immediacy part. I mean, the ideas he's advanced so far, it's not clear to me which of those are going to create jobs in February or March. And that to me, that should be the priority, is what bills can have an immediate impact. I mean, as part of the budget, I'm sure over the course of the next 6 months, many of these ideas will gain traction, many will be refined, and hopefully we can pass quite a number of them. But a special session is called because you have a special need, and in this case, an economic emergency, as he says. And I agree with him, we do. We've had that for some time, and we've tried to, we made every effort to address that. But it's good to add new focus to this. But you know, our criteria are designed with the idea that let's make a priority on things that can create jobs right away that we know work. They've worked maybe in Missouri, maybe they've worked in, you know, in Minnesota, wherever. But, or they've worked here in Wisconsin. Let's improve upon it.
Have you talked to your colleagues on the other side of the aisle? Have you gotten a sense of if they would call a special session, if they were actively calling for special session that first week? Because you've got new member orientation going on that week and a lot of things going on at that time.
Well, I mean, the governor does have a right to call a special session, and I'm quite certain as part of his inaugural address he's going to do that. And I do know, I met with Speaker Fitzgerald yesterday. I know that he intends to have the committees up and running to begin having hearings on these ideas right away, and that's as it should be.
Do you have a list of the specific bills you'll be offering?
I will have that, we'll be giving that next week, but I can tell you, you know, we put out yesterday basic concepts, much like the governor has done. You know, we want to look at how we can help more aggressively promote Wisconsin manufacturing. We want to build upon and enhance the supplier credit to help Tier 2 and Tier 3 suppliers be able to add jobs. We want to improve upon, you know, the refundable jobs credit. We have, you know, a number of other ideas like that that we will be advancing. But these are things that I believe, you know, have the potential of creating jobs in February and March.
What's your reaction to Scott Walker's rather aggressive take on the governorship so far, seeing as he hasn't even taken office?
Well, he certainly takes the prize for being the most aggressive governor-elect in trying to, you know, advance his ideas before he's taken the oath. And you know, aggressiveness is good. I don't see a problem with that. I thought he made a mistake, of course, in the state employees contract, because, I mean, he's going to have to begin negotiating as of day one. And, you know, the new contracts for 11 and 12 begin July 1st. But, you know, that's his decision, and he won that battle.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Appreciate your